Hi there people, FenixFire again. Wasn't able to find a decent match this week, so looked around for some older files. Didn't find much, but this Generation 4 new match had a fairly decent flow to it. I'm using a sunny day team for this one against a user named Fyre5x5. Now onto the battle. I start a match with jump bluff while my foe unleashes Golem onto the battlefield. Packing only U-turn as an attacking move and not fearing a direct hit, I entangle the enemy with Leech Seed while the opponent deploys his Stealth Rocks. Although this might seem disadvantageous for a sunny day team, my lead is more than equipped to handle the situation. Grabbing my chance to entice the enemy, I utilize Encore to lock my foe into Stealth Rocks. With Golem unable to attack, I can sap its HP once more and set the stage for additional preparations. With Fyre5x5 forced to return his Pokemon, Jump Bluff is able to establish sunny weather, furthermore boosted by the Heat Rock in its possession. As the sun's rays turn bright for 8 turns, Ninetales is sent in as the foe's replacement. Left in an uncomfortable position with his fire type on the field, I command a quick retreat with U-turn in favor of Torkoal. Albeit not the best option to endure this mostly special attacker, the warm climate proves to be far more detrimental to me than it is to my opponent in the current position, as Ninetales is able to scorch my Pokemon for abundant damage. Critically injured by the Stealth Rocks and a supercharged Flamethrower, I am left with little options but to leave Torkoal to its fate. As Ninetales charges another attack, Fyre5x5 actually opts for Hypnosis, swaying my Pokemon into a deep slumber. Unsure what other moves this Ninetales might employ and pinned by Stealth Rocks, I stand my ground in search of more information. Having little to fear from my sleeping turtle, the foe's Ninetales uses Nasty Plot to increase its special attack. As I continue to prod my Pokemon to wake it up, my efforts fail for the time being. With nothing to effectively bring in on Ninetales, my fortune seems to take a turn for the worst already. Unable to stir my Torkoal from its nap, my opponent ends his existence with a powerful Flamethrower attack. Despite being not very effective, the raw power is more than enough to eliminate my Pokemon and reduce the score to 5 versus 6. As little can withstand this armed Ninetales onslaught, I decide to feel my victory bell and take the battle right back to him. Speedy enough thanks to Chlorophyll, I direct my Pokemon to use Hidden Power Rock. As the HP continues to fall, the opponent managed to persevere still. Enraged by this assault, Ninetales engulfs the arena in flame. Unequipped to handle the heat, Victory Bell is burned to a crisp. Opportunely, the enemy's Pokemon is drained of its strength by the use of Life Orb, halting the rampage dead in its tracks. Both Pokemon vanquished, the scoreboard stands at 4 versus 5. With the sun still going strong, I advance with Shiftry to exploit the situation for as long as it'll last, while the opponent reinstates his lead, Golem. Undeterred by anything it might possess, Shiftry charges a mighty Solar Beam to eradicate the foe in a single hit. Blasting bright sunlight at my opponent, the match is marked for its exchange of terrible blows. Unprepared for the havoc my own Pokemon now reaps, Fyre5x5 desperately sends in Zangoose. Alas, his skills are left unused as Shiftry once again dispatches the enemy with Solar Beam. Backed into a corner at first by my own spell, Shiftry was quickly able to turn the tables back into my favor, thus bringing the score to 4 versus 3. As the sunlight fades, Shiftry's powers dissipates with it. Although it boasts decent options by itself, it is only a husk of the true potential. Not wanting to take a Focus Punch to the face or allow the foe to establish a substitute, I recall my Pokemon for my starter, Jump Bluff. Able to encore the foe into a support move or take a fighting type attack, thanks to its flying type, I should be relatively safe to reinstate my son. Cleverly enough, the foe quickly charges forward with Sucker Punch. Even though it fails now, it has prevented Cacturn from becoming stuck into Substitute, a far lesser option than being locked into an attack. After reactivating the weather, I shift Jump Bluff out instead of U-turning to dodge the foe's Sucker Punch. As Shiftry drops with power once more, Fyre5x5 decides to retreat as well, deploying Gardevoir. Normally not a problem for my dark Pokemon, but it's able to trace my Chlorophyll ability and possibly utilizing the atmospheric conditions against me for a second time. As Gardevoir erects a light screen and reveals itself to be a dual screener, I can put my fears of a potential counter sweep to rest. Positive it'll form reflect next, I sear the ground with Solar Beam, inflicting only pitiful damage due to Gardevoir's natural high special defenses. Having installed both barricades, I once again prepare for an attack, only to be left in the dust, as Gardevoir departs for Cacturn. Hesitant to combat Cacturn at first, Shiftry now pulsates with the intense energies of Sol. Steadfast in the battle at hand, I withered the enemy with hidden power fire, dealing hefty harm despite the protection of light screen. Alas, the power proves to be insufficient, as Cacturn narrowly is able to construct another substitute. Expecting the foe will want to outwit my Pokémon with Sucker Punch, I changed my battle plan and strike with one of my own. Now overflowing with solar energy and confidence, Shiftry rapidly connects for critical damage, leaving Cacturn's defenses broken. As the foe fails to land his attack, my adversary's Pokémon is left in a precarious position. Disillusional on bravado that nothing might stop it, I carelessly forgo a second Sucker Punch, a mistake the opponent returns in full. An agile uppercut brings my Pokémon down to 3 HP, still enough to subdue the foe, yet at the cost of Shiftry's life. As a second engagement claims both fighters, the scoreboard stands at 3 versus 2. With the sunlight dimming after this intense clash, I once again forward Jumpluff to the stage while my competitor positions Gardevoir, now that both screens have run its course. As I set up intense sunlight for a last time, Fyre5x5 presses the offensive with Psychic. An attempt I barely survived thanks to my defensive training. Even though Gardevoir did snatch my Leaf Guard ability, it is far less threatening than the added speed with Chlorophyll. With its lifespan, Jumpluff seals the foe into Psychic in a last act of opposition. Although this might seem fruitless, it prevents the foe from renewing either Reflect or Light Screen, something that could definitely halt a late-game effort. Down to 2 Pokémon each, I summon my Rapidash onto the play area. Shapen in the fires of the Netherworld, this horse gallops at unparalleled speed and strikes true with Flare Blitz, scorching anything in its path when backed by the sun. As I am able to eliminate Gardevoir with a single attack, Fyre5x5 has only 1 Pokémon remaining. Although I've suffered massive recoil damage, little can stand against my Pokémon now. Forced to take the field, Espeon is all that stands between me and victory. Luckily enough, my Rapidash is able to outrun this Psychic type, thanks to Choice Scarf, obliterating the last Pokémon of my foe. Even though my Pokémon succumbs to self-inflicted wounds, I'm able to attain the win still, at a close 1 versus 0. That was the match for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and hopefully I'll be able to obtain a Generation 5 match for the next upload. If not, I'll probably dig into my Gen 4 Monotype bin and see if that yields any quality battles. Until next time, FenixFire signing out.